Welcome to the Hidden Homestead. My name is David, and today we're going to go through my truck and I'm going to show you how I load it out for everyday driving and when we go on trips, because it's April and it's snowing, so you never really know what the world's going to throw at you. Always be prepared. All right, so real quick, I understand that once we get in here, it's going to be hard to... Hey, hello down there! What are you doing?
What am I doing? What are you doing? It's cold, it's snowing.
No, yeah, it's snowing. It's not that bad, though. It's not that cold.
Yeah, well, it's cold enough. Did you even take time to talk about the thing?
What?
The subscriber thing? You didn't. You didn't even do it. Can I do it? Can I do it?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I ain't coming out there. Send them in. Send them in. Come in.
Okay, yep, take them in.
Come on in.
All right, come on. Come in here. Come on. Follow me. We're into the studio. Don't tell him I snuck in here and sipped on some of his whiskey. Hey, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Silly Man outside there has a goal for this year, and that's to hit 50,000 subscribers. And he can only do so if you hit that subscribe button. So hit that subscribe button, and then off to the side the little bell icon, so you get notifications on whenever he does his stupid videos. That'd be great. You'd be helping me out a lot because he hurts me. He hurts me when he's sad. So help me, help him, and I think that's it. I think that's it. I got it. I think I nailed it. We're good now. All right, see you later.
All right, as I was saying, I know the lighting is going to be bad in here. It's going to be cramped once we get inside. I'm going to try to get all the specifics that I can. Whatever I can't get on video, I will try to put it in the description below or just do some B-roll or whatever. So let's get inside. Again, it's April and it's snowing, so you don't know what Mother Nature or the world is going to throw at you. So again, you always need to be prepared. So as I'm setting in the vehicle, the first thing down here on the door, if the door is closed, right inside the door, I have a small fire extinguisher. That is very close in case of whatever. So I could drive up to something that could be on fire or whatever. So, you know, this is nice to have. So I have that right inside the door. Right up here, I do have kind of a tactical MOLLE sun visor loadout kit thing, whatever you want to call it. I really like having everything right here, everything just right in front of me. I don't have to fool around with getting in the glove box. So yeah, so this one is pretty cool. I actually got this off of concealedcarry.com. Right up front, it does have some pockets with the clear plastic so you can see what's inside there. I have my registration and insurance. Right behind that, I have duct tape. Because, I mean, you can use duct tape for fixing things, medical, like a lot of stuff. I've actually got a really bad cut on my finger and I use duct tape to stop the bleed, so it works pretty good. Right next to that, there is a pocket that goes kind of underneath this. Inside that pocket, I have a Write in the Rain pad and paper in here. So the reason I have this in here is because this, grabbing it, start to write, is a lot faster than getting my phone, unlocking it, going to the app, and then start going. I can just grab this and start writing. So I really like having pen and paper available and Write in the Rain, because you never really know what type of weather or situation you're going to be in to write something down. So I do like having those. Now, right to the left of that is this vehicle emergency tool, whatever you want to call it. It is a glass breaker and a seatbelt cutter. You never know. I think everyone should have one of these because you never know. This isn't just for me. I mean, the same thing with like the fire extinguisher, same thing with any of this stuff. I could drive up. We take a lot of trips in the middle of nowhere, and I could drive up to somewhere that was in a bad accident and there's someone trapped inside. You know, break the glass, cut the seatbelt, and hopefully give them out, save their life. So something good to have. This thing has a lot of MOLLE webbing. The problem with that is they are easy to overload because your sun visor, you know, bouncing around, it is going to go down. So that's something to keep in mind. So don't go crazy if you get one of these. Just keep some simple stuff up there, lighter stuff. I'll kind of show you where I keep a little bit of the heavier things a little bit. So just to the left of that is a flashlight. I'll give you a flashlight in the vehicles. There's whatever kind you can think of. Get a good flashlight. I like this one because it has 3 settings. It's got, did it go? I can't tell in the camera. There we go. Yeah, boop, boop. It's got the regular, it's got a strobe, and on the 3rd click, this illuminates. The base illuminates. And I like that, and the reason I keep that here is because every bit of this is illuminated. If like the truck battery dies, I still have a light to where I can look at maps, read whatever. If I'm stuck somewhere, you know, whatever the case may be, I still have a light that I can illuminate right here. Or in any other survival situation, you know, I can set the light off to the side and illuminate a big area and kind of go to work hands-free. So just to the left of that in the MOLLE webbing, it's actually the perfect size for a lighter. Just have that crammed down in there because I've got lighters all over the place because they're good to have. Now, this is where the load bearing of this thing that I was talking about earlier, all this lighter stuff is up here because it's the lighter stuff is away from the hinges so it don't pull down. Right here, down close to the hinges, I have a multi-tool. This one is the Gerber truss. I have the Gerber truss in here. So it does get heavy. If you try to put it up here, which I did just to try it out, it will pull it down. That's really about it in the front of the cab. The only other thing I have is in the glove box, and to get that, to show you that, I'll have to kind of take it off the tripod and hopefully not drop you. I think you just got a shot of my nose, so tell me if I had any boogers in the comments below. All right, so as I said, there's not a whole lot in this glove box, and I'll get to the reason why there's not a ton in the glove box in a second. But as you can see, I'm a contractor, so I do have a couple of tape measures, some keys. I live beardedly, so I have a beard comb in here because every beard owner should be a responsible beard owner. Don't look like a Neanderthal. Comb your beard. In this, more duct tape because I got some pencils. This is actually the charger cable for the flashlight that I was talking about earlier. There's a little duster. What is it called? I think it's called like the California duster or something. Just to dust things off. I have some suntan lotion because I like to, you know, keep a good tan. Now inside here, the reason I don't keep a lot of stuff inside the glove box is because I want access to this thing right here. Now, this is actually a This is actually a pew pew stick from the Austrian Glock tree. It actually is very handy to have. They say, there's an old wives' tale that they say that the sticks, like this, the sticks from an Austrian Glock tree actually wards off evil. It helps combat evil. It keeps evil away. So that's pretty interesting. So I like to keep this Austrian Glock tree stick, pew pew stick, in the vehicle. So there's that. And then, just to be sure that I have, call me superstitious if you want, but I want to make sure that I have the seeds of the Austrian Glock tree pew pew stick to make sure that I'm super safe and I'm warding off all evil, as much evil as possible. Yeah, you can't be too safe, right? Now, I don't normally keep that pew pew stick in the truck. I normally try to keep that with me at all times in the appendix carry to ward off evil. So that's not something I keep in the truck all the time. The reason I put it in there is because when we take trips, go on long hauls or whatever, it's a lot more comfortable for me to put it in there, and then as soon as we get to the destination, I can easily take it out and ward off evil wherever I'm at. So there's that. Let's go into the back here and I'll show you what I got back there. All right, so basically the 150 and the 250 are essentially set up the same. Normally when we take the longer trips, that's the truck we take because the 250 diesel isn't all that great in fuel economy. So we take the 150 for our longer trips. So not much is going to change between the two. Basically, I will end up taking some stuff out of this and putting into the 150 when we do our trips. But behind the seat, I like this behind the passenger seat because if I need it, I can just jump out and then grab it. Pair of work gloves because you never know what you're going to get into. It could be cold, it could be nasty, or whatever. You might be dealing with hot, sharp metal or whatever. It's just nice to have a pair of work gloves available just to kind of get into action. Right beside that is the IFAK. Now I did a video on this IFAK. If you're interested in watching it, you can see it right about here. You can watch that right there. It basically, I go through all my trauma kits and I have this trauma kit in here. All of our vehicles have basically the same trauma kit in it. It is from Primary Arms. It's the North American Rescue Trauma Kit, or IFAK, and you can check that video out and see what I have in here. So I'm not going to go into great detail. Just know that it is an IFAK. There's a tourniquet in here. And speaking of tourniquet, I should say, a lot of people might say up front on the visor, why didn't you have a tourniquet? Well, I carry a tourniquet on me all the time. I EDC a tourniquet. I have a concealed ankle IFAK holster thing that I carry on me all the time. So that's my tourniquet. That's my first go-to. So just in case there's any questions about the tourniquet, that's where that one comes into. Now, right off to the side of the IFAK, I'll try to pull all this out. Hopefully you can see it all because I know the camera's going to be focusing on my face. But right when you open it up, there are these two emergency, basically they're, what are they called? Oh man, brain fart. They're sleeping bags. They're bivy sacks, geez. They're Mylar emergency blankets. They're sleeping bags. They're Mylar sleeping bags. I keep two in here, one for my wife, one for myself when we go on trips. When it's cold out and it's snowing and we get trapped, these are good to have. Something else that I keep in this part, road flares. You can signal, you can do, when you're working on the vehicle, you can put these out, obviously. The only other thing I have in here, this is not something that you have to have or always should have, but it's something to keep in mind. When you go on a road trip, you might go or even accidentally go, situational awareness, you know, plan your route, but you might be forced to go somewhere sketchy. So I keep a decoy wallet on me so that if something does happen, then I do have a decoy wallet to toss, and that might buy us some time to use the Austrian Glock tree stick or something else that I'll get into in a minute. So a decoy wallet, maybe something to consider. So just down below that is my basic toolkit. Again, I know it's hard to see a bunch of this stuff, so I'll probably shoot some B-roll or something. Inside it though is, right when you open it up, is a headlamp. That way I can go hands-free if I'm working on something. There's also a tire pressure gauge, because you never know. We'll get a little bit more into that in a minute on the other side of the truck, but a tire pressure gauge. I have more duct tape because if you can't duck it, then you know the saying. I'm not going to pull it out just because it is tight. It is kind of tight in here, but I do have a tire repair kit stuffed in here, so it has the reamer and everything that I need to repair a tire if it happens to be, it needs to be fixed. I also have zip ties. I have 12 inch and I believe 12 8-inch, just to zip tie something up, like a panel or something, just to zip tie something back on, just to get us to where we're going, so it's not flapping, right? So your front wind dam or whatever busted or something, you hit a deer and it's busting, it's flapping, you got to kind of zip tie it up. So those are nice to have. 550 cord. I have about 50 foot of 550 cord because, yeah, why not? Also in here, I think the only other thing I have in here are just the basic. There's a number 2 flat and Phillips screwdriver, and then just a pair of pliers that is inside here. So just to the left of that, I have some extra boxes of nuts. These are blackout walnut tree nuts that I like to keep in the truck, and along with these underneath the seat, I keep this in the truck for mainly when we travel. This is to ward off like really bad evil or a lot of evil or further away evil, maybe. I don't know. You just never really know what evil's going to do. But I like to keep this boom boom stick. It's a little bigger than the pew pew stick that I have up front, and it's a different type of tree. Like I said, this one is the 300 blackout walnut tree, American riffle tree. So I really like to have this stick to really get into evil. It does have a angled forward grip. The shoulder, it's not good for shouldering. It's not good for shouldering, but it does ward off evil very efficiently. So I like this boom boom stick in the 300 blackout walnut. Anyway, let's go to the other side and I'll show you what I have in the rest of the truck. So this side of the truck is where I stage all my cold weather gear, even in April. we've gotten blizzards in May, even June. So I'm still likely to need this stuff. So in this bag, don't confuse this as a get home bag. This is not really my get home bag. I'll talk about that in a little bit. This bag is basically just Carhartt. I got a set of Carhartts in there, bibbed overall, sorry. A heavier, warmer work jacket, another pair of work gloves, warmer socks, I think another t-shirt, pair of underwear, beanie, all that kind of stuff. And I also have food. Also have food in here in case I get stranded. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing fancy. It's instant oatmeal. It's going to give me the calories, and I can just eat it dry. I also have a bag of like mixed nuts in here because there's a lot of protein and calories. Just calories. That's all I want. I just want calories. Reese's, Snickers, whatever. As long as I'm getting calories, that's for temporary. That's all I'm worried about. In this bag is basically my sleep bag, my sleep system. Now I work out at Ellsworth Air Force Base in the winter. That's just not too far from us, and I'm primarily out there for snow removal. I've been stuck out there a couple of times because of a blizzard. I went out to work to remove snow and I got stuck. So in the winter, I try to keep some sort of sleep system. Now I have all my backcountry backpacking stuff in here. So I've got a hammock, I've got all the down stuff, everything that I can take to be very comfortable and warm. I have in here. Also, if something happens on the way home, which has happened, I can use this stuff to stay warm if I get stranded on the side of the road because of whiteout conditions or whatever. This isn't something unique. This isn't something new. A lot of people have cold weather gear in their trunk or in their truck. A lot of people in South Dakota, Wyoming, North Dakota, Montana, they have this kind of stuff. This is a standard thing. So if you don't have it, you should. This is just a overquilt. It's a downed overquilt just to throw on me in case I need it. Now, underneath this stuff, push that off to the side. Right here, I do have a toolbox. Now, this stuff, most of this stuff, especially in the winter, most of this stuff, when we take a trip, a road trip, this stuff moves from this truck to the 150. This is the stuff that mainly moves. Inside here, I have a hammer in case I have to do some big repairs. So it's good to have a hammer. So jumper cables, right? You should always have like something to jump a dead battery. Unfortunately, jumper cables don't always work. And the reason jumper cables don't always work is because, unfortunately, in this day and age, some people are afraid of helping. Take me for example. I'm a big bearded burly dude, and a petite female probably wouldn't want to stop and jump my vehicle. I can't blame her, because the world kind of sucks sometimes, and people really suck a lot. And so if you're stranded and you have a set of jumper cables, that's great. Sometimes it's hard to get someone to help you. It sucks, but it is what it is. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I've been in that situation. I've needed to be jumped, and I couldn't get a jump. I couldn't get someone to give me a jump because I look creepy. I look like I do, I guess. So, and I understand, I get it. So that being said, something to consider instead of jumper cables is a jumper pack, like a battery jump start pack or whatever they're called. I like to keep these because again, we travel in areas that we might not see anybody for hours, possibly. So it's nice to have something like this, because if something happened, we could give ourselves a jump. So keep that in mind. If you're scary and weird looking like I am, you might want to consider getting one of these instead of a set of jumper cables. Something else that I keep in here is just an impact driver. I talked earlier about putting zip ties in. Well, it'd be really easy if you had a drill. I do have a drill bit set for this. I have a couple different things, little Phillips and all the little Torx, whatever. It's nice to have one of these just for minor repairs. Of course, I have the batteries, and then I have this guy, the big impact wrench for changing tires, especially in the winter, in a blizzard, and when it's cold, when it's windy. You don't want to be out changing a tire with your tire iron. That's going to take a while, and you're going to be cold. And I do have the different impacts, the sockets for the 250, the 350, the 150, and the trailers that we have, so I can just grab whatever socket I need and go to work. So some other stuff that I have in here. This also gets taken out and put in the 150 when we go somewhere. I don't know if you can see this. This is just some ratchet straps. The 150 has the ratchet straps. We have ratchet straps in every vehicle. We have a fire extinguisher in every vehicle. We have a med kit in every vehicle. Most of the stuff is the same in every vehicle, but most of the tools stay with me because I'm going to be the one working on it. So if I have to go get my wife, I'll go get her and I'll have the tools. So inside here are more just basic tools. I should say, actually, underneath this box that I had the DeWalt stuff in, the impact wrench and all that stuff, is actually a mechanic's tool set. So I have all the sockets and the ratchets and the screwdrivers and everything I need to make repairs or take anything apart, for the most part, take anything apart that I need. And in here are some more, just some quick grab. It's a smaller bag, just quick grab. Inside of this though is the tire pump. So I've got the Fix-A-Flat, I've got the tire pressure gauge, and inside here I have a small tire pump. Now, yeah, it might take a while, but I can at least air up the tire once I get it repaired. So having that, especially on trips where you don't know when you're going to see the next service station, just be prepared. That's something good to have in your vehicle. So what else? I should have mentioned this before. I don't know if you can see it, but inside here, behind the seat, I always keep water on me. Whenever I go anywhere, I have, if you've seen some of the videos, you've probably seen the wood grain flask water bottle that I carry. That thing goes with me everywhere. I take it everywhere. So I have that water, but I always have in all the trucks, I always have water stashed somewhere because every living thing needs water. So have water. Now, these are double walled. They can freeze, but they're less likely to freeze because they're double walled, if that makes sense. I don't have them filled up all the way, so if they do freeze, and they have, if they do freeze, they have some room to expand, and because they set upright, I do crack the lid just a little bit just to relieve some pressure. Again, they can freeze, but because they are double walled, insulated, double stainless steel walled, it does take a little bit longer for them to freeze. So that's just buys you some time so you can check on them. The other thing I have in here is a tow strap. Again, something else that all the vehicles have is a tow strap. Have a tow strap, especially in the winter, so you can get pulled out when you drive off the side of the road because you can't see the road. It's happened. The only other thing that we keep in the bed of the truck, especially in the winter, we carry a shovel with us and a bucket of sand. You know, a bucket of sand will go a long ways. Depending on the type of snow, you can go through snow and then you pack it down and it becomes ice, becomes super slick. If you have a bucket of sand and a shovel, you can potentially get yourself out of some really nasty situations. The other thing is extra gas. Now they make the really cool gas tanks that you can mount on the sides. They're the flat packs, or I can't remember the exact name of them, and they're really cool. But I mean, a regular gas can, or you know, the red plastic gas cans, 5 gallons, those work really good. So I mean, as a budget friendly version, honestly, what I travel with is like 2 5-gallon gas cans, and I just ratchet strap them into the bed of the truck. They have the caps on them so they're not sloshing around all over the place. They work good. If you want the really cool thing, you could get the really cool thing. I just like functionality, not necessarily being cool, because look at me. I'm not really that cool, so it doesn't bother me. Just something to keep in mind, that a regular gas can, if that's what you got, go to, you know, you can pick them up at Lowe's for 15, 20, 25 bucks. I don't know. It's been a while since I bought one because I've got a lot of them. Just fill those up, take those along with you, and you'll be fine. I think that's really it. That's about all that we keep loaded up in our vehicles. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't, if you thought this loadout was really stupid, you can hit that thumbs down button and then let me know why it was so stupid. Keep in mind that this works for us. You probably have a way better idea, and you know, that's fine. You're probably probably just way smarter than me, I guess. But anyway, let me know what you think, if you have any comments, and tell me how stupid I am. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. That would be greatly appreciated. We're on Facebook, Instagram. You can find us on Patreon as well. That would be great if you wanted to go check that out. That helps the channel out tremendously. And until next time, take care.